Finally, the Ultrakill developers have they've come back to us with a brand new update, and they've decided to fix pretty much all of the major bugs that were left in the game, for what I've seen. Briefly skimming over these patch notes, so let's get into it, because I like reading the patch notes, and you don't. That's why you're here. So it doesn't. The first patch, incredibly descriptive patch. Improved performance. I'm dead fucking serious. The patch says they've improved performance. So you know what? Let's test it out. Yep. Come on. We'll see how good the game can run now, huh? It's actually holding up, like, really well. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, this is bad performance. Like, this is bad. This is objectively terrible performance. Yeah, they're lying. The devs have just lied to us, but anyway, I digress, anyway. They've added an option to completely disable the fog in Cybergrind. I didn't even know there was fog in Cybergrind. So, if you play Cybergrind, I'm sure you're gonna love this change, because being able to, like, have a clear view in the Cybergrind is amazing. That's amazing, we love that. Dash jumps performed via enemy step now, and they cost 1 bar of stamina. What? Wait, this is a thing you can... Hang on. Oh my god, this is a thing that you can do. I didn't even know. Look at... Basically, okay. For context, for those of you who don't usually play this game that much, dash jumps is this mechanic, and you can see by the bar in the bottom corner, or by the wheel in my crosshair, it takes 2 stamina bars to use. But if I perform it on the enemy, it only takes 1. That is an incredibly, like, niche thing. I don't know when you're ever going to make use of this in your life, but you know what? Baller. Actually, that's kind of, like, precise. Baller change, I guess. I don't know when you're ever going to use that in, like, ever, but someone's going to find a way. Radiant idols now have a rainbow-colored halo to make them easier to distinguish. This is good, because radiant idols are a pain in my arse. Ooh, wait, actually, that's kind of pretty. Wait, I like this. That's pretty as fuck. So now, even from far away, looking at the idol, for about, like, this far away, realistically, you can see, oh, it's a radiant idol. Whatever it's, you know, whatever it's idling is, whatever it's idling is going to become radiant when it dies. Now you can actually see that. Damn, I suck. Get out of here. So that, good location, visual clarity in a game where that is a luxury. Alternate shotgun can now launch dying mind flares. This is good. I think everyone's aware that I'm not the biggest fan of the jackhammer. It's just not my cup of tea. But now, you can do that. That's a thing that's a thing that the devs have decided is vital to add into the game. It makes sense, because if you look at the jackhammer's animation, it is a physical, like, hit. You're, like, physically touching the enemy. That sounds weird. This is why the jackhammer can break idols, because you're, like, it's a physical attack. So it makes sense that you can punch mind flares with it. Makes sense. Greatly reduced chances of virtues getting pushed away by the player while whiplashing towards them. This is big. Finally. I can do this consistently again. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you, devs. This is huge. Again, for context, before the update, well, no. After the Ultra Revamp update, there was a thing with the virtues where whiplashing into them would push them away, and this tech, which has been in the game for, well, pretty much since virtues were added, didn't work anymore. And that sucked. That did not feel good. So, thankfully, it has now been reverted. Good change. I love this. Insurrectionists can no longer be killed by their boulder touching a death zone. What is a death zone, you might be asking? Well, it is when you go into the Cybergrind, and you see... no, not there. Where was it? You basically see, like, this, but it's red, right? So this sort of texture, but it's red. It's in the Cybergrind. And maybe in some levels, just hidden, that I don't know about, I don't know. But primarily, this is a Cybergrind thing. And an Insurrectionist, my guy, his little boulder is like a physical, you know, it's a part of him, right? So if the boulder were to touch the death zone, even if the Insurrectionist didn't, the Insurrectionist would die. That no longer is the case, which I guess does technically buff Insurrectionists in Cybergrind, as if they needed buffs before. I said Cybergrind players were eating good before, I take it back, they're now eating bad. Poor bastards. Oh, this is a big one for a lot of you in my comments. Fixed last weapon variation bind. Where is it? Where is remember last? I don't use it. Where's remember last weapon? Anyway, it's the remember last weapon. Damn, I don't know where that is. Remember last weapon bind, not remembering the last used variation. Ah, wait. This. Last weapon used bind. And fixed last weapon bind, not remembering the last used weapon after loading to a different level. So basically, they've fixed the last weapon used bind. It should actually swap to the last weapon that you were using, even if you swap in and out of levels. I'm blind, that took me a very long time to find. I don't use it. But I know a lot of people do, so that's cool. Fixed scroll wheel when set to swap variations while this on swap to same option is set to first variation. Okay, that's a complicated one. Basically, this on variations and this on swap to same will now work, I suppose. Cool. Again, this is not a feature that I use. It's not a thing that I knew was even broken. But I'm sure for those of you out there who use this feature, you are going to love this change. I don't know if people know this. I'm a scroll wheel warrior, but I use scroll wheel to change through my weapons, not my variations. So I'm sure there are some people out there who use their scroll wheel to change through variations instead, and those people are going to be very, very happy. Blood splatters now work with the disable new shaders option. Is this an option? Disable new shaders. Requires reload. Oh, well, because I can't turn that one on. But cool, I guess if you turn that on, blood will still work. Which is cool, because the blood is a pretty big part of the game, huh? Fix the 7-2 clock tower checkpoint not activating. Oh boy, we're leaving sandbox. We're going to 7-2. This, again, not something that I personally noticed, because, well, frankly, I don't die a lot in this video game. It's just not a thing that I do. I never die. It's a fact. But I believe, not this checkpoint, but the checkpoint... I'm turning on cheats, fuck you. The checkpoint after you beat these enemies, beat quote unquote. Actually, have they fixed this yet? Where this like makes like a glitch texture when it falls down? Let's look. I think so. But this checkpoint actually works now. That's cool. Thank you, Hakita, my lord and savior, for fixing the change. Thank you, Hakita. Fixed the 1-4 pick up to read tutorial not activating. Now this, again, I've never heard of this in my life. What is the pick up to read tutorial? I assume it's to do with the book, which is in this room. Oh. Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing. Makes sense. It was broken. I assume it didn't work at all. So there we go. That works now. Which is actually probably a good thing. Instead of just like hammering your way around trying to figure out like how do I read the book, you actually, the game tells you like, hey, pick it up, dipshit. We like this. This is good. This is good for new players. Fix tutorials breaking if a relevant key is unbound. I assume that means like, you know, hold right mouse button to shoot a charge piercer in O-1 and stuff like that. Again, visual clarity. We ball. We ball. Hide UI cheat now also hides cutscene skip text and level-specific UI elements such as countdowns. I know where a countdown is in my video game. Let's go test this out. Let's go see if it's correct. Because sometimes they say, like, oh, this has been patched, and it isn't. So let's check it out. Let's just kill the brain real quick. Let's get out of here. So now there will be a timer, and hide your white. There you go. You can now play Cinematic Ultrakill in every level. Well, okay, that one's still there, I guess. But anyway, Cinematic Ultrakill. Hey, look at that. This is cool. You can make the game look all pretty. You can make the game look all pretty. Added an advanced option for disabling the scrolling textures of the P2 red tunnel. I believe... Where's the advanced options again? This is advanced options. And disable red tunnel scrolling. I believe this will be the blood tunnel. Potentially also the secret exit to the Panopticon. Let's have a look. Let's see if it is. Okay, it is definitely not the secret exit to the Panopticon. What about the blood arena? Okay, and then we just... That looks incredibly cursed. And it's also kind of weird how... It's kind of weird how it's like... It's disabled here, but it's not disabled at the secret entrance. I feel like if they're going to add an option to disable the blood scrolling texture there, they should add an option to disable it here. Or potentially, I'm stupid, and it's not for performance, and it's for visual clarity. And therefore, like, you don't really need it here because this is all you do. So I might be an idiot. I don't know. If it's for visual clarity, that makes a lot of sense why it's only disabled in the actual level part of the level. Okay, well, fixed inconsistencies in the launch force of the P2 red tunnel hurt surfaces. Well, I just left there, but, you know, if you touch the red tunnel, you take damage, and you get pushed, you get pushed up a little bit. It's like in the water in 5-2. I guess there must have been inconsistencies with that. I have never really noticed it. There's too much going on my screen to notice it. But more consistent to video game is cool. Source machines on brutal difficulty can no longer cancel their attacks by catching a thrown sword. Is that a thing they did? Throw your sword. Oh wait, you don't do it until phase 2, do you? Hang on. Oh, I accidentally killed... Whoops! Okay, throw your sword. Do an attack. Come on. Okay, it didn't cancel its attack. That's pretty cool. Although I kind of liked the fact that they cancelled their attack when they catch the sword. It made them stronger, even if unintentionally. It made them tougher. Because they would like be throwing out an attack and suddenly they'd just switch up on you. I kind of liked it. It didn't really feel unfair because you could see when the sword was coming back, but I guess the devs disagreed with that. Oh well. Sucks to suck, I guess. Firestarter no longer reduces the style rank. Oh my god, this is huge. Finally, I can stand in here and not lose all my style. Thank you, Hikita. I can kill myself in style. Done. Add an environmental impact effects to a couple weapons that were missing them. So that'll be, you know, these, where, like, things get shot. And there's environmental particles everywhere. Wow, that's a lot. I guess it makes sense that the explosion would have the biggest particle. So, you know, every weapon in the game now has particles. No matter how small. This is cool. We love particle physics in my Ultrakill video game. Fixed custom color palettes not enabling correctly. That'll be like, you know, my fucking Miku gun over here. That's like the only custom palette I have enabled, I think, because I keep accidentally resetting them. But, you know, Miku gun. I've never noticed an inconsistency with that, but maybe some people did. So if you're one of those people, you're eating good. Fix the game speed major assist not applying properly. That's not a major assist. Major assist, game speed. Now the game's so slow. Oh my god. Look at how slow everything is. If you use this, more power to you. I guess. Finally, dead coining's easy. Oh my god. Finally. Dead coining is made easy. Anyway, apparently this works properly now. Again, it's not something that I would have noticed because I don't use major assists. But that's cool. If you use major assists, that is great. You're going to be loving this game even more, actually being able to experience it even if you are, you know, not the best. Fixed sound glitching out after pausing and unpausing during the Cybergrind score screen. I haven't played Cybergrind in months, but Cybergrind players, again, Cybergrind players, like, they're winning this update. They are actually just winning so much this update. Ooh, this is actually an interesting one. Odashi heat buildup is lower on lower difficulties, which is an interesting thing. You can see I have a D rank on Odashi on Harmless because the only time I played Odashi on Harmless is when Lasagna played it. Where would heat be? I don't know. Where am I? We go here. I'm gonna go grab the skulls. And we're gonna look at how fast the heat buildup is. But this change is actually pretty good. I remember saying that I thought the heat buildup in O-E was actually like really unfair for lower difficulties because when your heat cracks, you immediately go down to 100 health instead of 200 health, which is a big difference, and you start accumulating hard damage, which you don't get in Harmless, so it becomes like exponentially more difficult, which is something we discovered with Lasagna when we were playing this level. But now you can see that heat buildup is very slow. It's very, very, very slow, which I think is good, because I don't think it's right that, you know, the easy mode made for people like Lasagna who, you know, aren't very good at the game and need the easier mode, but it still, you know, it still punished you exactly the same on every difficulty. So now you can see just how slow the heat buildup is. And when it gets down to 0%, you'll see what I mean by it cuts your health to 100 and you will start taking hard damage. I thought that was like a massive, like incredibly punishing thing that made this level by far the hardest Harmless level in the game. But now, it's a lot more forgiving. But yeah, you could see hard damage, my health is cut in half. It's pretty brutal. Brutal. But no, that's cool. That is, like, if you're someone who plays on the lower difficulties, O-E is going to be, like, significantly easier, and probably, like, in the best way possible, because it was, I felt, and Lasagna felt like a very, very unfair, spike in difficulty. Fix the O-E Skull Room's ceiling fan dealing damage before being turned on. Never noticed this, but apparently the off fan would hurt you. I don't know why you would jump. I just noticed my frames are kind of like low. Is that just me? Fucking the first patch note here was fucking improved performance. Where's my frames? 2x screen refresh rate. My screen's refresh rate. I feel like I'm dropping frames. Is that just me? Hang on, we can check this. 1 second. Uno momento, por favor. How many frames are we getting in Ultrakill, huh? We are getting no frame drops. It just looks kind of weird to my eyes. Maybe it's because I'm not used to a 144Hz monitor. That could be why. Anyway. My bad. My fault. False alarm. So, what's next? Whoopsies, wrong button. 1-E Lava Room. Malicious faces no longer walk off their pillars? Wait, that's not intended? Huh? Hang on. You're telling me... Oh. What if I go to this checkpoint? Where am I? Right, okay. Anyway, we'll get there in a second. I can just kill the enemies, can't I? Dum-dum. Okay, so essentially, that is referring to the lava room that is coming up just now, where the Maurices would apparently walk off their pillars. I thought that was intentional, because, like, they always spawned just straight over the lava. Like, I genuinely thought it was intentional. Oh my god, it's not. I thought it was intentional that they spawned over the lava, because they just always did it every time. But clearly not. Now they spawn it properly. Cool, I guess. I genuinely thought that was intentional. But there we go. And also, 1-E Skyblocks stops changing while the player is exiting the level. So that will be after this room. If I just kill the enemies in this room. Womp womp. So the skybox stops changing while you're exiting the level? Why is this important? Why is that important? That must have been important for some reason. I don't know why. But that is a change that's in the video game. Fixed dual-wielded weapons sometimes not changing when swapping to another gun. You see, the only time I ever really, you would ever really notice this is in 4-2, where you can get 4 weapons, and you just, you're just flying away on the... Oh god, that's loud. But it seems everything's changing perfectly fine now. So, good job, guys. You fixed it. Hell yeah. Increase the radius of igniting fire starter gasoline for large explosions. Interesting. So how large are we talking? If I shoot it like over here? Nope. 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 Damn, this is like way smaller than I thought it would be. Oh, this is like way smaller than I thought it would be. Okay. So like you still have to be very close. I was expecting it to be like, oh, if you hit like the outside of the explosion hitbox. Kind of. You gotta be pretty close. You gotta hit like, I think maybe the inside hitbox of the explosion instead of hitting the outside, so... Looks like you gotta be about this far away, which is pretty close. So you can't just be firing away willy-nilly and expect your fire to turn on, because it's not going to. So what else is there? Remove the last remaining insta-kill pits from 1-4, 1-E, and 2-1. This is good. It was really jarring to have every insta-kill pit in the game reverted to just like a 50 damage or even a 20 damage. And then there were like 3 pits in the game that would still just kill you. Especially in 1-E, it would happen occasionally and just be like, well, fuck me, I guess. Move the 2-1 elevator test panel to no longer block a stray's line of sight. That is incredibly specific. Where are there strays in 2-1? In the first room and in the last room. So what elevator panel is he talking about? No strays line of sight could really be blocked here. Does he mean up here? Yeah. I think. I swear this door never used to be here. I could be schizophrenic, but I swear this door was never here. I swear, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, tweaking. But I feel like this door was never here. And the Z fighting seems to imply that it's kind of been thrown in here. Might want to go on that, guys. But anyway. Seems like that's been changed. I've never had the stray's line of sight be blocked, ever. I've never noticed it, I should say, because I just killed the stray. But whatever, my bad. Removed collision from the lip of a pipe in 2-1's secret path. Well, you're basically giving away exactly where the secret path is. It's right here. Removed collision from the lip of the pipe. What does that mean? I don't know exactly what that's implying, to be honest. But it has something to do with this. If you can figure out what the hell that means, let me know in the comments, because I actually don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. What else is there? Change the name of the style bonus gained by punching 4-4 V2 with a Knuckle Blaster. I could just check that sandbox. I believe it was just enraged before. It was just enraged. Now, if I smack him in the face. Stop hitting yourself. Yeah, idiot. Idiot. Okay, that's kind of funny. I like that. That's funny. No weapon cooldown. Wait, hang on. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting Stop hitting yourself. Yeah, this is good. I like this. This is funny. Good change. Good change. I like that. That's funny. That's funny. Removed collision from the 4-S Boulder Run torches. Oddly specific change, but now 4-S is slightly less anal to play. Always a good thing. 5-1 sentries should no longer be able to walk inside of doors. Those sentries are fucking, you know, they're scooting around everywhere they want to go anyway, so they're gonna clip into the ceiling if they want, who knows. 5-2 piers now cause excessive amounts of massive debris when hit by lightning. I never saw this, man. I kind of wish I did now. But that will be talking about the wooden platforms. I assume the wooden platforms in 5-2, and I guess if the lightning in the distance hit them, where's the lightning? Come on, do it. Do it. Thunder. Oh damn it, it doesn't want to. But I assume that means if like a lightning bolt ever struck these, it would cause like a massive amount of debris to spawn, and it would probably lag people's game, which is a bad thing, of course. So now it doesn't do that anymore. Hopefully, I'm not getting any lightning spawning. Maybe I have to be a certain part until. Oh, there we go. So yeah, good thing. Not lagging people's game. We like that. 5-S overlay now disappears when the player drops into the exit. That'll be, I assume, talking about the fish overlay, which will no longer appear when you're in the exit of the secret level. We ball. 6-1's chandeliers now deflect projectiles when okay. Guess when it's 6-1. The chandeliers are also technically in 6-2, but they're kind of completely fucking useless. By chandeliers, it obviously means, if you didn't notice, there's now chandeliers in these levels, and you can shoot them down. There's also chandeliers in 5-3. So I assume this also works in 5-3. But when the chandeliers are falling, they now deflect enemy projectiles. Hard to notice, but it might come in clutch eventually. Who knows? Who knows? The 7-1 trams no longer cause blue rubble when ground slammed. Blue rubble? We've always got to test. Come on, we've got to test. Underground tunnels, tram. Can confirm. There's no blue rubble spawning. Look at that, they fixed it. Good job, guys. Nice job, team. What else is there? 67-1 Cerberite not having secret. Not having bonus health. We're going over here. Nope, wrong side. These guys are incredibly tanky. Usually, this cannibal tech will kill a Cerberus, but it doesn't kill it. Wow. It has health. Look at it go. They're actually reasonably tanky, to be fair. Wait, look how much health it has. Oh, that sucks. But no, the Cerberuses there are actually reasonably tanky. So it's pretty cool that their extra health has been given back to them. health that they rightfully deserved. Removed unintended spawn effects from some 7-3 arenas. I assume that's going to be talking about the street cleaners that appear around a fucking corner. Bastard street cleaners. Jump scaring street cleaners, goddammit. Fixed marksman's coin flash not facing the player. This is something that I've never noticed personally. But there you go. The coin flash now faces you. Whoop-de-doo. Does it always fit? Even if I'm like moving around, will it like follow me? Oh yeah, it does. Cool. I assume that's what it's referring to. Instead of it being a static object, it faces me no matter what direction I'm looking in. Hell yeah! Toggling the puppet option on an enemy no longer causes a duplicate enemy to appear. Wait. And we turn you into a puppet. Whoa. Oh, okay, that's intended. That just looked really, really fucking weird. But there you go. There wasn't two soldiers. There wasn't two soldiers. Dithering no longer breaks the intro calibration sequence. What is dithering? Is that what makes the game look like dog shit? Dithering. Oh, ew. Why would you turn this on? Oh my god. I guess that used to break the intro sequence. That's kind of strange. Oh wow, 0% dithering looks also fucking terrible. Holy shit. Weird. Anyway, the intro sequence is no longer broken by that. Damn, this is a really big update. Oh my god. Fixed errors caused by the projector in the museum. That is cool. Fixed various occlusion culling bugs. Let's go to my favorite occlusion culling spot and see if it's fixed. Occlusion culling, if you don't know, is when the level deloads around you. I've pointed out a lot in this level because it's incredibly obvious. Let me just find the spot. Where is it? No, I'm going this way. And then it's up here. And then, yep, okay, we go here. Here. This room had some pretty bad occlusion culling. In this spot right here. Well, they tried. Yeah, this is the second time they've fixed this bug and not fixed the bug. This is going to become like fucking Herobrine or something. Just fixed occlusion culling in every single update, and no, they fucking didn't. So hopefully there's another update after this to actually go through and fix everything. That'd be cool. Reduced Z-fighting when using PSX vertex warping in the O-4 rotating hallway. That is unfathomably specific, and I don't use PSX or vertex warping. But if for whatever reason you use both PSX and vertex warping and are in O-4 and are in the rotating hallway, there's not going to be any Z-fighting anymore. Cool. Fix a hole in the 1-1 secret exit geometry. Interesting. I never noticed a hole, but yeah, cool. Fixed 1-S not being marked as completed if the player exits via the out of bounds clip. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know you could exit via that clip. If you don't understand what the out of bounds clip in this level is, very simple. I wouldn't really call it a clip, honestly. You just jump through, and then I guess you can exit like this. Come on. Come on. Let me out. Did I do it? Nice. That's what that means, and now it will marked as completed if you do that for some reason. Fixed 2-2 generator room particles are not layering correctly. I have no idea what that means. I'm assuming that's the... I assume that's the room with the big spiral staircase? I think? I don't know. I don't know, honestly. Fix a nav mesh issue in 2-2, not allowing soldiers from the first room to walk up the stairs towards the generator room. Oh, cool. So now if you don't kill all the soldiers in the first room, they will come and get your ass. They will come for you. So that's cool. Removed a small gap in the floor near the 7-S start room. I don't think that affects the speed run. I think the speed run uses a different clip. Fixed the V1 diagram in the difficulty select not being correctly centered. What? I never noticed this in my life. I'm kind of glad I didn't notice this. That would be the kind of thing that just pisses me off to no end. And they fixed a typo in the P-1 end terminal. And that is every update, every change they've made in this update, fixing most, but not all, of the big bugs. So, overall, the Bueno update. Hopefully there's another one to fix the occlusion culling for real, finally. For realsies. For real. For real.